helping everyone understand that, well, it's probably not the right way to put it, but they did find the issue.
Yeah.
Manley was our previous auditor, and they didn't find that issue. That alone shows me that they do a very in-depth audit.
That's quite a testimony.
Well, it was amazing. Now, part of the reason they found it was because it was, I believe, written off as, trying to think of how they put it. It was written off as a previous payment, or prepayment for a service.
It was incorrectly categorized.
Well, no, actually, it should have been done years before because they weren't using the program that was bought. But because it was done then, and Barbicane was the auditor, but had it been looked into, it might have been found sooner. They just didn't, the previous auditor didn't look at that particular thing, I guess. Since it was a QZAB-related issue, one would think that would have been looked at more closely because that's a federal program and a federal bond. So, but that's my response to that. I think they're qualified to do audits. I think they've done a good job for us, and they have certainly. I don't have the management letter for the previous year because I was not on the board. I was going to request somebody send that to me. But it seems like they have a good idea of what needs to be done, and I know some of the issues have already been corrected, so that's a good thing.
And in conversation, I believe, with myself, Jack, and Jeff Satanic, he also revered them as a good auditor.
I'm just really interested to know why that other company pulled out the day before it was due.
Yeah, that's peculiar.
Can you do a day before it? Or send them the day?
Any other questions? All in favor?
When did you do the RFP?
What's that?
When did you do this RFP?
I believe it was right after the last meeting. Somebody requested that we put it up for generally.
So you got it up for a month?
Oh, yeah, at least a month, yeah.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item N, do I hear a motion to approve Provident Energy IU consultant to include the Heighton Area School District in the gas contract negotiations with natural gas rates not to exceed value of $1.25 per DTH and DS value of 20 cents per DTH.
So moved.
I'll second.
Questions?
Workshop? Sorry, Nathan, go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask if Ed could explain.
Yeah, this was not a workshop, this was more of a timing issue. So the IU uses Provident Energy as their energy consultant. And I'm not very well versed on gas, but I'm told it's natural gas is regulated charges and unregulated charges. And those regulated charges are basically your distribution, so the pipes, the meters, the substations, the staff that UGI controls. And then the unregulated are your supply charges. So by going with the IU, we do get a benefit of, they basically group all the schools together, and they negotiate a rate because it's basically for the interstate pipeline transportation costs that they're negotiating. So they group all the schools together. Because it is competitive, they can drive the price down, and that's basically the gist of it. The DTH is a decatherm, and that's basically 1 million BTUs of energy. It's how gas is contracted. However, meters measure it in cubic feet, and the cubic feet are converted to decatherms based on heat content of the delivered gas. So it's much more in-depth than I anticipated, much more than I want to know about gas. But this is not the commodity itself. This allows them to negotiate. Once they negotiate this rate, it will stay between $1.25 and 20 cents per decatherm. And then once they have that in place, then they'll be able to go and negotiate the actual commodity rate, which they don't want to do at this time because of the market. They want to wait a little bit.
Do you have a current rate?
I don't know what our current rate is.
It's a lot.
Other questions?
Well, that's what I'm at. Is it a lot, is it a lot more currently?
I would have to go back and look. So if we don't go in with the IU, we're basically left out of the negotiation. So I don't know where that would leave us in terms of trying to negotiate a basis rate for interstate transportation costs for gas. I really couldn't answer that question. I don't know.
And if this is just basically for the delivery side of things, if we end up not purchasing our gas through whatever they negotiate, we're back to UGI in the first place, and this would not apply unless it's tied to a gas contract, correct?
Well, we're gonna have to buy from somewhere.
Right.
So if we're not involved in this, my concern is we don't have a rate. So then we have to go out ourselves and try and negotiate a gas rate.
Okay.
We don't have a current rate, though. We have a current.
We have a current rate that we're under, yes.
The intention is to save money, correct?
Yes.
I mean, the sourcing, you're going to get Fairfax.
Right.
Yeah.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The
Abstain?
ayes have it. Abstained?
Yeah.
Thank you. The ayes have it. Item N,